Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I'm playing along with Kendra's card challenge. I will be creating sketch number 2, and for my card today I am working with Polka Doodles, who is one of our amazing super sponsors. We had the option to craft with a few different digital images, digital papers, and digital sentiments. What I thought I would do is anytime I have digis, what I like to do is print out a few different options for the digi papers. That way I have a lot of choices, and not that it's too hard to print out more. That's the beautiful thing about digital papers. You can always print out whatever you'd like as many times as you like. And so that's a really nice benefit to working with digitals. The only downside is because you don't have it all physically in hand, you can't like kind of flip through them in the same way that you can with a 6x6 paper pad. So that's why I like to actually print off way more than I think I would need. That way I can still do that whole process of flipping through, maybe holding one against the other, because it's always a little bit different how you see it on the computer versus how you see it in real life. So I've picked a couple of different pattern papers, and one of the things that I do when I go to print this is the images you get them in such high resolution that if you wanted to print these off as a full sheet, like I've done 8.5 by 11, you could definitely do that and you wouldn't lose any resolution. It's going to be just as crisp, just as clear as originally designed, even though these papers are designed to be a square format. Basically what happens is the image is sort of scaled up so that it can fill an 8.5 by 11, but it ends up cropping off a portion of the design. It doesn't actually alter sort of the aspect ratio of the design. So ultimately, because some of these images, and in particular that first pattern paper that has the Merry Christmas words on it, it ended up scaling to kind of a large size. So what I decided I would do is, instead of making a 2 size card, I'm gonna make a 5 by 7 card, so that larger scale of the print is more fitting with the scale of the card. And what I've done is just picked out some solid color cardstock with that coordinates with the different colors. And what I did in advance, sometimes I do this as a little bit of a cheat, is I actually digitally colored the digi image. And that way I don't have to do any coloring. It's almost like making your own ephemera. I sent it through my brother's scan and cut. It actually, if you have been watching any of my live streams, you've probably heard me complain about my scan and cut not really scanning and cutting very well. More user error than anything else, to be honest, because now it's cutting just fine. And the problem I was having was getting the paper to really stick to the mat firmly. The workaround that I was taught is just use some Scotch tape and really tape your paper down. And then 2, there's a difference between scanning in color mode and scanning in black and white. And so sometimes you have to flip between the two for it to appropriately recognize the border. So now that I've figured out those couple of tips, it's working like a charm. So this image, what I did was, what's nice about digitally coloring, and I didn't do anything fancy, I just kind of bucket filled each of those little areas. But what I was able to do is, because my papers are digital too, I just used the eyedropper function in Photoshop, and I did a color picker on some of the colors that are in the pattern papers as I was using or as I was picking colors to color in my digital image. So that's one way of making sure that everything really coordinates. And just like how if you had, say, an ephemera pack that coordinates with your pattern papers, this is one way to get your digital images to also coordinate with your digital papers. What's really nice with digis, there's so many advantages to working with digis. It doesn't take up any physical space in your in your house. So if you have a small space crafting in, you don't have to worry about storage. And as well, it's limitless. You can print out as many more papers as you'd like. You can adapt the scale of these. So if I did want to use these prints on a smaller scale card, what I could have done instead of printing it as a full 8.5 by 11, I could have just printed it as a 6 by 6 or scaled it down even smaller to 5 by 5 or 4 by 4, whatever the size I needed for my card. So there are so many different options with how to work with digis that you don't necessarily have with physical products. Now, the only thing that I did bring in as a physical product is the sentiment, because I have this stamp set of a collection from I think years ago now, and I just haven't crafted with it. So I wanted to bring it out to craft with, and so I've chosen that to use as my sentiment. I did change the two squares in scale a little bit too. So I think I increased the size of those a smidge so that they fit onto the 5 by 7 card a little bit better. And so if you're looking to use a particular print, whether it's a digital paper or physical paper, and maybe the USA 2 size cards are too small for that scale of print, feel free to adapt these sketches and make a different card size if you'd like. If you like to craft 8 by 8, 6 by 6, 5 by 7, whatever you'd like, you don't have to stick firmly to these particular sizes. It is really nice that you have all of the measurements that you need to create each of these sketch layouts. So I'll leave a link to Kendra's card challenge. You can download the PDF for free, and that PDF will show you how to take 6 sheets of 6 by 6 pattern papers, and then using the cutting guide, cut them into pieces that you can then use on 15 unique card sketch layouts. If you play along with the challenge, where you actually create a full set of 15 cards, you can enter it into the official entry album on Kendra's Card Challenge Facebook group and be in for a chance to win prizes from our generous sponsors like Polkadoodles. And some of our sponsors like Polkadoodles give or donate monthly prizes as well as quarterly prizes. So be sure to check out the Kendra's Card Challenge website, and the last page on the PDF also lists out all of the sponsors. So it's a really fabulous, fun resource to have in your crafty arsenal, but as well, it's a fun challenge to play along with. It runs until the end of the year. Each challenge is 3 months long, and you actually can enter 3 times. You can enter once a month, again, by creating a full set of 15 cards. So really, really fabulous. Huge thanks to Polkadoodles for being such an amazing super sponsor by allowing us to craft with these digital images and assets, and as well for being such a generous prize sponsor. Before I end this video, I do also want to mention that my video today is part of a collaboration hub featuring Polkadoodles. So do click on that hashtag KCC12 Polkadoodles to see all of the videos on this hub and check out which digis they chose to craft with. And as well, there's a giveaway link in the description box below if you want to enter for a giveaway from Kendra. Thanks for joining me on this one, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye.